Hello friends, this is Wendy, and I am a paper crafter, a junk journaler, a scrapbooker, and I am the keeper of my family history. And I just got finished with the better part of 3 days watching RootsTech at home in my pajamas. Yeah, so a lot of other people did that too, from what I understand. In fact, millions of people did that. And you may say, Wendy, what's up with RootsTech? And why are you bringing this up? And so I'll start with this quote. How do I want to be remembered? How do I want to remember those I love? That's kind of the whole point of RootsTech. I literally had never participated in RootsTech. I've heard of it, but I'd never been a part of it. And now it is, wow, it's made a huge difference in my life. So I want to talk to you about, well, a couple of things that I learned. Family Search, they're the ones that they host RootsTech, but they had, oh my goodness. And so I'm just going to talk about writing our history. I'm talking about not putting names on a pedigree chart. You certainly can learn that there too. But about preserving memories, so they had a bunch of vendors from all over the world. They had a bunch of them, and they highlighted the ones that they called their platinum contributors, because they probably contributed a certain amount of money towards making RootsTech happen. But it was just amazing, and it was a whole world I didn't really know about, and I didn't realize how much it would mean to me. I want to just share. So this class that I took, called Stop Struggling and Start Having Fun Writing Your Story Using a Simple 5-Step Framework. And it's by Joannaklein, and Journey to Legacy. So she has a website, Journey to Legacy, but she also has X. And she also has, formerly Instagram, right? And she also has a YouTube page, and she has a Facebook page, and I mean, she has a lot, and it's all about writing our stories. And she impacted me so much. I actually went to her website and I thanked her for her class, and she wrote back to me and asked me what I liked best about it. And I wrote back to her. I mean, it was like, wow, she's my new BFF, right? No, not really. But she sent me, well, so I went to her website, and you can do this too. Anybody can do this. But she will send a free guide. This is her. And she'll send the free guide to own your story and to help you to write your stories. Of course, I want to write my stories in junk journals, but you can write them anywhere you want, and how you preserve them. Then I was, when I was previewing all of the classes on RootsTech and going, and they had a bunch of stuff on YouTube of the presenters, the people who were going to present these stories, the workshops. And this one, she did 3 classes, and none of them were filmed. So I didn't get to see them at home. I would have only gotten to see them if I had gone into Salt Lake, and which I didn't. And we were going to go in today, and we're having the most horrible storm. And they were saying, whiteout conditions on the road. And we're like, we'll just watch this at home. I enjoyed Kristen Chenoweth just as much at home as I would have in person. Well, maybe I would have enjoyed it just a little more in person. However, one of the things, you can watch everything. Everything that I watched these last 3 days, you can watch, and more, because everything that they filmed, everything that was online, they filmed, and it's available, and a lot of them are available on YouTube. Kristen Chenoweth, I watched her on YouTube this morning as it was live, as it was happening in Salt Lake, and then I watched some stuff from last year. I watched the interview with Sean Austin, who had been the Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings. Anyway, and in many, he was a Goonie in the Goonies. Anyway, I watched that, and that was from last year. There's a lot of stuff online that they're on YouTube, and then if you go to RootsTech.org, you can get and you can watch everything that they've recorded. You can watch, so it's like amazing. Anyway, so she was not available online, so I bought her book. So I'm sure I would have gotten a lot of what she had in here, only less. And she has prompts and everything to help us. Okay, I bought it, so I'm going to say help me. But to help me, because this is memories of me. It's all about me, right? But to help me to be able to, and I got this on Amazon, just before I forget, to be able to write my stories. And so this is on February 29th, which only happens every 4 years. I wrote 4 pages, and it was all typed. It was, some of it I had written before the class with Joanna, and I'm just showing her. And some of it I wrote after, and then I did a lot of what they said. You just write. You don't proofread, you don't anything. You just write. But then you go back and you proofread and you change things and everything. And it was really powerful. And her class was so powerful. Let me find my notes. Was probably one of my favorites is that I have lived through hard times and not only survived, but I have grown stronger because of them. Another thing she said is to be the hero of my own story. Be my own hero. Don't be a victim. Be the hero. And she talked about being what's the word? Perspective. Okay, so she told this story about a woman. This is from like the 1970s. And this woman went into a bank and wanted to get a loan. This is a woman that Joanna knows. Anyway, she went into a bank. She wanted to get a loan, and she couldn't get a loan without her husband's signature on it. I mean, she qualified for it and everything, but without her husband's signature, she couldn't get a loan. And so she said she was going to stay there until they gave her a loan, and they finally gave her a loan. And so I think it was Joanna who said this to her, but somebody said this to her. Well, what did you get out of that? What did you get out of that story? She said, that my husband's a jerk. And she was like, no. Well, she didn't say no. She said, another perspective is, look how strong and resilient you were. You did something that women couldn't do back then. You made an impact. You were strong. You were resilient. You are the hero of your story. And suddenly this woman said she wasn't a victim. She was a hero. And I started writing, and this is going to be I'm definitely putting this in Corby. I'm going to pull Corby out now. I'm definitely putting this in Corby, but this is going to be towards the end, because this is going to be part of healing, because I'm healing. And I realized that the way I have thought about our leaving North Carolina, which was not North Carolina's fault, it was something else. It wasn't the state, it wasn't the location, it was what happened there. But also they have hurricanes, just saying. I mean, I'm not a hurricane kind of gal. Anyway, so I felt like I was a victim. I mean, I didn't realize that I was thinking of myself as a victim. And I wonder if thinking of myself as a victim for so long has caused me to take a little longer to heal. But I am the hero of my story. you know, I mean, and my son, who insisted that we get out of there and made it possible to get out of there, he's also a hero of my story. And yes, he rescued me. But some people don't get out of those situations. Anyway, that's more information than we really want to talk about. But it's part of my story. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. This is part of my story. The unpleasantness is part of my story. The hurt is part of my story. The overcoming it is part of my story. The being a survivor is part of my story. The moving on, the moving on is definitely part of my story. We can be the heroes of our own stories. We can look at things at a different perspective. So this Joanna, let me find a picture again. Her. To get 9 pages of information just by going to her website. And then if you go to rootstech.com, no, .org, sorry, rootstech.org, and I think you need to do RootsTech 24. You can actually take the class that I took, and you can download this syllabus. And so this is additional, this is 6 pages, and you can listen to her. It was fabulous, and it made me realize I needed to look at all of this with a different perspective, not as a victim, but as a hero. That I am stronger than I realized. I think I mentioned before that I'm taking a class called Becoming Emotionally Resilient, and she talked about resilience a lot, you know. I mean, so that resonated with me because of this class I'm taking. But, you know, we all go through hard times, and we can write about them. Writing is therapeutic. You can put them in some place that we never want anybody to read, or we can put it in some place that one day somebody might read and might know that we went through hard times, but we not only survived, we were resilient, and we moved on to a better place. So that's what I want to be remembered for. Now, there was I just barely watched it because it just happened a little bit ago. Kristen Chenoweth, you know, what did she want to be remembered for? Well, you know, it was something else. You know, I mean, she's a singer, she's a performer, and she wanted to give back to kids who want to perform, you know, and that's what she wants to be remembered for. I don't know what you want to be remembered for, but I want to be remembered that I was strong, and I was able to overcome, and I was able to turn pain into something that I think is beautiful art. You know, I have been enjoying doing this book, and I have really, that's me, and me again. This was the theme that got us moving to do the next right and do the next right thing. You know, we must go on and do the next right thing. And we did one thing at a time. And sometimes that one thing was not the right thing, but we tried it. And we went, this is not it. And so we tried something else, and we went, that's not it, until this is it. This is what we want to do. This is where we want to go. This is what we want to do. This is how we want to live. This is, you know, everything. I would highly encourage anyone who is interested. This is on rootstech.org 2024. This is on, and this is from Joanna Klein. This is Joanna Klein. This was from her website, Journey to Legacy. She has a YouTube channel, Journey to Legacy. You have to do Journey to Legacy Joanna Klein to find it, because there are other sites that say Journey to Legacy. And this book, I haven't finished reading it, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm glad I bought it. This is a way to preserve your family memories, your own personal memories. There will be those that will come after you that will want to know who you are. I have a paragraph that my grandmother wrote in her own handwriting about my mother in a little book, and the whole rest of the book is empty. I want to give those that come after me more than that. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, P.S., the baby mama loved the baby book, and I'll talk more about that in another video. Anyway, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.